the legendary master of exporting Hawaii's plate lunch, the innovator of those yummy macadamia nut chocolate dipped shortbread cookies, and the pioneer of in-supermarket bakeries and trendsetter for the farm-to-table concept in Hawaii. L&L Drive-In, Big Island Candies, and KTA Superstores. From humble beginnings to global expansion, these companies have transformed the way Hawaii does business. Join us as we meet inspiring CEOs on Founders and Visionaries next.
Founders and Visionaries is presented by Hawaii Business Magazine. You're watching Founders and Visionaries.
So, Barry, we're here in your flagship KTA store here in Puainako, Hilo. Take us back to the beginning. How did it all start?
Basically, my grandfather worked for a wholesaler. And my father, who was the oldest son, was born in 1916 also. And at that time, the story goes that my grandfather needed additional income. So he had to figure out how can he get more income now that his family's growing. So he thought about opening a store. And it would be perfect where my grandmother could watch the baby and run the store at the same time. So my grandfather had this philosophy that the store was started to provide anybody who needed income, a job, a place to work. Also.
Great. And how many employees do you have at KTA now overall?
Right now we have a little over 750 employees.
Wow. You know, my very first job ever was being a bagger in a grocery store.
All right.
I know, it was good fun. But your grandparents passed away a few decades ago, but still the business was really thriving at that time. Were they proud of how far it had come?
I think so. My grandfather was not a person he was a very humble person. He never went out, he never talked about himself. And he was a smart guy, you know, my grandfather. So he would allow plantation workers to charge when they went on strike. No income, right? So he allowed them to charge so that they wouldn't starve, they can eat. The old-timers, they remember that. You know, they might have gotten food for a long period of time without paying at that time. But once they got their jobs back and, you know, they got earnings, then they started to pay off again. So I think those little things kind of helped to create a loyalty base to us in the old days, which kind of grew. And so his relationship with the plantation people was great.
What sorts of values did your grandparents pass along to you and the other family members working in the business?
You know, that we're here because of our customers. We cannot survive without their support. So whatever we can do to provide them a value. We may not be the cheapest, but I'll tell you, we'll try to give them the best value that we can, either through service, quality products, things like that. But, you know, without the community, we cannot survive. And that's a value that we never forgot. We give back a lot to the community. It's something that we just need to do. You know, it's something we need to do to get satisfaction. I personally have a philosophy that I want to help people that help themselves. I really don't like people that just come and ask for handouts. So if somebody's willing to work for stuff, we'll go out of our way to help them earn it. You know.
A hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so, and you know, I think it teaches values to the youngsters too. That nothing's free. If you work for it, you know, things will come.
Just surviving for 5 or 10 years is amazing, but surviving for almost a century in any business is really phenomenal. What's gotten you to this point?
I have to say it's our employees. We cannot do it ourselves, and without them, we could never get to where we are today, and we still believe that.
Sorry, you see, I told you.
And what are your hopes for KTA over the next 20 or 30 years?
Definitely, you know, I hope that we'll continue to survive. I hope we can thrive. In the back of our minds, we always think about maybe expansion to other islands, Oahu maybe, but you know, it's going to be tough to do that. But I think, you know, perseverance, we just gotta, gambari is the word that we use in Japanese. We just gotta get the perseverance and go
So you feature a lot of local products in your stores. Does that contribute to your success, or is that a challenge in the process?
I think it's both. And I got to tell you a story about Mountain Apple brand. I wish I could say it's my idea. It wasn't.
This is your private label.
Private label, right. Mountain Apple brand actually started with Derek Karisu and my uncle Tony, who was my predecessor at the market. And they saw the end of sugar coming. The Big Island was largely an agricultural-based economy, so we needed to, or they felt that needed to do something to get our agricultural workers back. But the whole concept was to give local farmers an opportunity to raise products and get them started in business. What we kind of asked them was we would package it under our label, we'll help you do all of these things. And as you grow, then you create your own label. So you would continue to serve us as well as sell your own. You know, we talk about diversified eggs, the sustainability and all that, and the only way we can do it is we gotta get these people to do it. They gotta be farmers. They gotta be able to go out and be ranchers. And if we don't give them the opportunity for them to make money, why would they wanna do that? So it's a sustainability issue too, and how can we grow our own food rather than bringing everything in from the mainland? Derek went one step further than that. He created a second label called 1916. We have a wine selection.
Was that the year he was born?
No, the year we were born. We were born, not we, not he. I'll tell Derek that.
He's going to get me later.
I know he will. You cannot find 1916 elsewhere in the state except our stores, but it's products that are made outside of the state. So in that sense, we're trying to create two labels there.
Great.
Partner, how you doing, man? Hey, the success of Mountain Apple brand products is not just buying from local farmers or local dairies. It's a matter of we have local manufacturing here that's able to produce the grade B, off-grade, or unsaleable cuts, and also things that are of surplus, and turns all of these waste into value. So, for instance, like our Portuguese sausage is made with local beef. And all of the unsaleable cuts is put into Portuguese sausage. I mean, we have things like milk, right? And because we have things like pava that's manufactured at the Marigold plant, or reduce the cost of operation for the local milk. So, you know, local manufacturing is equally important as well as the local products. Because what they do is they turn costs and add value to the product. So, yeah. You know, about 30 to 40% of our beef is locally grown. And in fact, our leafy vegetables, about 97% is all locally grown. And I think one of the reasons why, you know, is this partnership that we developed with a lot of the local farmers and local ranchers. Because, you know, the whole philosophy is like we work together as one big family. Hey, isn't it right?
Yep, that's right.
You see? That's right.
Hi. Have your autograph?
It's not worth that.
On a blank check.
On a blank check.
That was a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one. I better remember that.